Hey everyone, welcome to the Psychic News Network. It's Friday Night Live. How y'all doing? Today is October 3rd, 2025. We're alive. We will survive. I'm a songwriter, can you tell? In fact, I got a new idea for a song today. How you doing? I know it's been a rough week. It's been a rough week, I know, but I think we're getting more resilient. I heard Bruce Springsteen on Jimmy Kimmel last night, and I got the title "Worth Fighting For." I'm gonna write my next songs are gonna be called "Worth Fighting For." This country is worth fighting for. This planet is worth fighting for. If there are any audio issues, let me know. I do have a new microphone, but you know what? I really need a team. I have to figure out how to use the new microphone. Right now I have this one. So there'll be an upgrade as soon as I can figure things out. So we're in a government shutdown. Let me just lay it on the line in terms of what I know and what I've known all along. And anyone who's been following what's been going on the past at least 8 to 10 years knows what's going on. And as I just remember, following what they had in Project 2025, even just the bullet points. And every time I saw what they had planned for the United States of America in Project 2025, I got the like really bad chills, really chilled to the bone, scary, scary stuff. So Project 2025 is a recipe for dismantling us as a country, replacing our democracy with Christian nationalism. And they're into violence and they're into, all the Stephen Miller's into. So now the moment has arrived where this is kind of the tipping point, which is part of the title of my last Substack. We've reached the tipping point. If you've been waiting for the tipping point, it's here. I don't know if I showed you that one. There's so much going on lately. I kind of even forgot I wrote a Substack. I don't even know what the date was. But that's the kind of time we're in. It's so easy to lose track of time. So my latest Substack is this one. If you are waiting for a tipping point, the wait is over. It's here. Oh, it was September 27th. Okay, seems like ages ago because so much happens. So please subscribe to my Substack. It's under Annette's Substack and or Grassroots of Democracy. I think it has 2 titles. Same Substack. And I'm going to start doing some more on Substack, like videos. So in Project 2025 is outlined a description of how to install a program of governing that would evoke the most like pain and suffering to the American people. So what is going on right now is this is the beginning of their plan to inflict harm and suffering on the American people. So that's where we are. Hello from Colombia. Hi, Daniel. So that's the plan. And I'll never forget several years ago, and I had mentioned it on PNN at the time, that in the morning I was going for a walk and I saw an SUV and it had a bumper sticker, and on the bumper sticker it said, "Dismantle the government." And at that time I didn't understand why anyone would want to dismantle the government. And there was a guy in the car and he had a cigarette. His arm was hanging out. I think he might have forgotten that he even had a bumper sticker on his vehicle, because as I was walking by, I said this to him: "We need our government." And he was kind of like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" Maybe it was someone else's vehicle. But it was the first time that I had really heard that. It must have been 3 or 4 years ago. Dismantle the government. And then that kind of tipped me off to what the plan was, what the plan is. It's to dismantle the United States of America. I have kind of like a variety of emotions around what's going on. There are some positive emotions, but there are very, like very tense emotions too. Before the election, I just kept on thinking and thinking and thinking, I just don't want to see people suffer. I don't want to see this country turn into a country of absolute suffering. That's what I feared the most, was the elderly not getting what they need, not getting the medical care, the children not getting what they need, just good, honest, wonderful people being put through unnecessary suffering, where we have been the best. We had the best economy in the world. We were the envy of the world. Biden and Harris, they were cutting costs everywhere for the regular average American person. Biden was on the picket lines. We had unions. Everything was really just, we were really rolling. And then we had this segment of the population led by phone news who just kept hammering away on the hatred and the vitriol and the racism and the divisiveness, and they never shut up about it. And those that are hanging on to that right now, the whole dumpy, I don't see any Trump flags anymore, but I know they're out there. The people that are hanging on to that now, I'm telling you, are the ones that cannot admit that they made a mistake. So, thank you, Michael. We're in this together. I never thought that it would last this long, that we'd have to be meeting all these times, and every single day I'm doing videos. I do 2 to 3 videos a day. I have Church of Spirituality. We do a guided meditation for a healed America every single Thursday. It's a lot, but I can't imagine not doing what we're doing here. I just can't even fathom that. I want everyone, I mentioned this on Off the Ledge this morning, to watch the National Geographic documentary on the life of Jane Goodall, who died on October 1st, which coincidentally was Jimmy Carter's birthday. He would have been 101. Jane Goodall died at the age of 91, and she spent her life not only advocating for the preservation of the chimpanzees in Africa, but she was an advocate. She traveled about 300 days a year up until the end to be an advocate for saving our planet and saving the environment. And this is the issue that I hope is on all of our minds. I'm just reading. What are you saying, Michael? Gagged me with a spoon, the thought of giving Trump a coin. Anyway, it's not only horrible for us what's going on right now, but it's horrible for the planet. So we're going to get into the cards in a minute. Please, please, please watch that documentary. It was made about 5 years ago, of Jane Goodall, because it will inspire you. There are good people on the planet. And we have to fight with everything that we have to take down this fascist regime. We really, really do. Oh, he wants his face on a dollar coin. Is that what you're talking about? We can start there and ask if he'll get that. No one would use it. Who would use it? The reason they talk about putting Dumpy's ugly head on a coin and putting him on Mount Rushmore, and the reason that they tore down the Rose Garden and paved it over to make a specialty club, the Rose Garden Club, the reason that he's ruining the White House and making a ballroom that's 3 times bigger than the White House itself, from what I heard, the reason that they're doing that is because they want to own the libs. The cruelty is the point. Being able to inflict insults and suffering and pain is the point. So here's the other thing I was just talking about, how I have a mix up of emotions. Of course, my emotions are dominated by, oh my God, this is horrible. It's so distressing. And on the other hand, I know what people joined together can do. I know what we can do. I have faith in what we're capable of. So I mentioned Jane Goodall. I want to mention too Sadhguru. When I was watching the documentary, I was reminded Sadhguru does very similar work to what Jane Goodall was doing. In Project Green Hands, they set a world record for the most trees planted by an organization. Consciousplanet.org is where you can go for that. And these are people, Sadhguru and Jane Goodall, and there is an interview with the two of them. I have to look that up on YouTube. And you can look up the National Geographic special on Jane on YouTube. But when I look at people that devote their entire lives to saving us, I know that there's not just a couple. I know that we all can do something. And so if you feel a calling to help to save this country, know that you're one more really important link in the chain of people that really need to bring us all together. Go out on a limb, stretch, because we have to save the freaking planet. So just because you guys are bringing it up, I'm going to look for my pendulum. That's in my little tray that's on my table. Here it is. Is Dumpy going to get his coin with his head on it? I don't get that he will. So anyway, the positive feelings are the ones in which I know that we can do anything together, and I do feel that happening. So I know it's just like every single day it's like, oh no, that it's like one thing after another after another. Let's read on this shutdown. I don't get that it's going to end anytime soon. They are really invested in inflicting pain. If it ever is driving you crazy, it's understandable. But here's what I do. When I see MAGA Mike and the rest of them, diarrhea of the mouth lies. It really is diarrhea of the mouth lies. They can't stop lying. It's just lie, 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 lie. Like Alexei Navalny said about Putin, he never stops lying. I think about what the afterlife will be like for them. Does that help? Tell me if that helps you. When you think about what's waiting for them on the other side, does it help? I think it's a coping mechanism. Yeah, and the American people are hearing about raiding an entire apartment building in Chicago. I mean, and today there were protesters outside of an ICE facility and some of them got arrested. So pray for people. Pray for people. Pray, pray, pray. I have a lot of respect for the protesters. During times like this too, the other thing that happens is we become awestruck by the level of courage that some chosen people have. And last night I posted on my community post page a video of the flotilla members, kind of led by Greta Thunberg. There was a flotilla going to Gaza, and they were going, these brave young people from all over the world, mostly young, maybe 20s, maybe 30s, mostly. And they were going into Gaza because people are literally starving to death. And they were bringing food and baby formula and aid and medical aid. And their boats were boarded, and the Israeli soldiers took them hostage. I don't know where they are now or what the status is now, but Bibi took it upon himself to violate international law. They were in international waters, and to have them taken hostage. The reason I'm bringing that up is because we don't know what we'll be called to do. But if those people can be that brave, I think we can attend a rally on October 18th. If those people protesting ICE can be that brave, I think that we can do our part. Netanyahu is a war criminal, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to read on the shutdown first. Just know that we're going to have to help each other during these times. The farmers are suffering. We're going to see lots of people we're going to hear about a lot of people who just gave up and decided life wasn't worth living. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of suffering. But what we're going to read on just initially is the shutdown. And specifically, I'm just going to read right now on how the shutdown, how it's going for the MAGA Republicans. They know what they're doing. Let's see. And I want you to also know that today I literally had moments of feeling giddy because I feel like there's something really good that's coming in also. I do. And I can't shake that feeling. And for a while I was thinking, maybe it's the guided meditation that we did last night. You really got to do that meditation. If you missed it, if you don't want to hear the talking part, just go to 15 minutes in. We literally received an upgrade from the cosmos to upgrade our systems so that we can handle this energy, this evil. So the MAGAs who are inflicting all this pain and cruelty are into the gaslighting, the gaslight, the gaslight, the gaslight. And they're celebrating all the money that they're taking in because they're addicted to never enough. And the 10 of Wands is also indicating they are very burdened by this. So the MAGAs, in the face of the shutdown, are doubling down on how much can we gaslight, and that's all they're doing. Let me tell you something about what they're using to gaslight. What they're using to gaslight is to say, oh, those bad Democrats. What the bad Democrats are doing is they want illegal aliens. By the way, that terminology went out in the 90s, I believe. And it sounds like they're talking about people coming from outer space. They want the illegal aliens to get health care. That's all they got. Hey, Bon Blue, good to see you. And that is ridiculous. And the American people aren't buying it. So what the American people are seeing is these MAGAs, they're starting to see the gaslight because they're not buying it that, oh, this is the Democrats' fault because this is all they can come up with. Because the Democrats want illegal aliens to have health care, want us to pay for their health care. Okay, first of all, they can't find any data to back that up because it doesn't exist, because illegal aliens are not entitled to receive health care. Besides the fact, if it were true, and it isn't, but if it were the case that people that aren't from here and don't have documents and all that, if it were true that they were getting health care, so what? Can I just say it? So what? That's a reason to shut down our government? So anyway, the gaslight's not working. And what people are seeing is all the billions and billions and billions of dollars that the oligarchs are raking in. Can you imagine being Jeff Bezos, having billions upon billions of dollars, and you know that people are starving in the world, and you don't want to do anything to help? You just have to accrue more and more and more money. Think about where they're going in the afterlife. The aliens go to the emergency room since they don't have health care? You mean ETs? So, I'm watching the chat. I'm like getting a little lost. Don't forget the boogie trans man. Yeah. I mean, it's not flying. That's what I'm telling you. All their gaslighting, they're raking in all this money, but they're starting to be burdened by the narrative. This is a tough one to defend. You heard a report that so far ICE has spent $20 billion on their violence. Stephen Miller is Goebbels reincarnated. So let's do this. Let's take a look. Oh, by the way, hit the thumbs up, and I'm on StreamYard tonight. I kind of reconnected, so the camera's better tonight, I think. Always reboot. What are you guys drinking? Okay, so let's read on. Are y'all drinking water and tea? It's Friday night. Who's drinking something more interesting than water? Raspberry sangria. Here we go. Christine. Iced tea. Michael's drinking Bumburger ginger beer. I love ginger beer. I will turn my water into wine. We need a miracle. Drinking MAGA tears. I like it. Okay, so I'm actually going to pull 3 cards on MAGA Mike, who was overheard talking to, what's her name? Madeline Dean, a representative. And she was saying after that debacle in front of the military, she was saying to MAGA Mike, you probably saw this, a clip of this, that Dumpy is really, he's lost his mind. He's really insane, and he's got to do something. MAGA Mike has to do something because this is dangerous. Our allies have abandoned us. Our enemies are watching. And MAGA Mike didn't disagree. Did you see that? Yeah, he didn't disagree. Did you all see my off the ledge? Was it today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. When I showed you a little video clip of MAGA Mike, and I've been noticing for a while now the vacant eyes, the dilated pupils, the vacant eyes, the rodent eyes on all these evil ones. All the evil ones have those same eyes. And they lie and they lie and they lie. And MAGA Mike is feeling a little bit left out in the cold. Poor baby, poor baby, poor baby. Queen of Pentacles, this is the Democrats. The Democrats are winning the argument. Hello. And the Nine of Cups. I actually think that there's too much going on for MAGA Mike. too many valuable arguments against what's happening for MAGA Mike to really be able to juggle. I kind of have a sense of him running away. I really do feel like he's running away. All right, let's see what's going to happen to him. They did run away, right? They did run away. I'm actually going to pull 3 cards about but I mean, I'm losing track. According to what I saw, the MAGAs are they're not on the House floor. They're not doing anything. Did they go on vacation? Does anybody know? Because they just left. So basically, they're being paid, mind you. They're being paid. They're firing all these federal workers. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers have lost their jobs. There you go. No paycheck. No paycheck. Yeah, all these people losing their jobs. They're still getting paid. They're still going ahead and building that stupid ballroom. Let them eat cake. They left. Did they just quit their jobs? Honestly, I mean, I left a comment on Mary Trump's video today where she was showing clips of the different generals and what they had to say. And I left a comment that was like, I am so done with us wringing our hands and lamenting. I didn't really put it exactly like that, but I'm sick and tired of us all going, oh, this is terrible. This is too bad. This is too bad. Where is the fucking conversation about removing them? Where's that conversation? Where's the national conversation about they need to be removed? Are we just stupid as a nation? They're technically supposed to be back working in their home districts. Yeah, sure they are. They'd be so afraid, right, Daniel? They'd be so afraid. You know what they're going to be facing back home, and maybe that's better. Maybe that's good punishment for them. They're going to be hiding in their houses. Why aren't we talking about their removal? Why are we not talking about impeachment? Al Green is, Jessica Denson is. They're on recess again. He just sent them home like 6 weeks ago. You're taking someone down off the ledge, Deborah? Maybe that person can join us. That's why we're here. I hope you turn them on to off the ledge. Yeah, the MAGAs, they do have targets, metaphorically speaking, on their backs for life. Absolutely. So I'm reading a little bit more about that. MAGA Mike, they're not seeing what they very well could have coming for them. Yeah, we need to remove Trump, right, Bond Blue? They're not seeing what's coming for them. These MAGAs, they're not seeing what's coming for them. 7 of Wands, but they are in over their heads. I do see that. They're in over their heads, and they're burdened. I'm getting the burden card again. They're supposed to come back on October 14th. It's also confusing. Yeah, well, they've just thrown this country into an absolute crisis. I'm grateful that the post office is still open. I asked the clerk about that the other day, and she said the United States Postal Service is considered essential workers. I didn't get personal and ask her if she was getting paid, but I could have. She's kind of a friend. Now that I've been going to that post office, it's a small one. And then I went, yeah, that's right, because the Postal Service has been in existence for 250 years, as long as our country has been in existence, started by Benjamin Franklin, like we all know. And through war times, through everything, through even 9/11 with the anthrax scare and everything that was going on then. The United States Postal Service is kind of like the military in a certain way. So, but as far as the other federal offices and government workers, they're being sent home with no pay. And these MAGA Republicans are getting paid to do nothing. So, and by the way, speaking of the United States Postal Service, you all know that my dad was, he worked for the post office. He was a letter carrier. Hey, Dad. He's with me. The USPS Museum in Washington, D.C. I'm so grateful that I was there when Biden was president last year. It tells you all about that. Will they get rid of MAGA Mike this year? Well, I think I read enough on him for now. The whole lot of them they all have to go at once. So let's see how that's gonna go. I'm drinking my most favorite Athletic Brew, the fake beer. I got Darren hooked on it. Let's see. I'm knowing that you guys are gonna keep track of how many thumbs up we have. When we have 200 thumbs up, we do a group hug. We missed it on Wednesday. I actually get more people when I do this on StreamYard, so as long as the camera's working pretty good, I'll keep using StreamYard. But you have to tell me when we have 200 thumbs up. Oh, you remember when I was with my dad along the waterfront? Oh yeah, I took pictures. It was a Memorial Day, right? We used to always talk about what's going on in the politics. Postal workers face high stress in the sorting, and yes, it's a tough job. But he did it with a smile. Okay. So I'm going to choose 3 cards about the Democrats. Yeah. And so I just want to mention, when I was talking about having all these mixed emotions, what makes me optimistic, and I know this might sound crazy, what makes me optimistic is how angry everybody will be. Everybody. This is going to be all of us against them. Thank you, Warren, for the thumbs up report. So I'm going to pull 3 cards. And I talked this morning on Off the Ledge about the awful memes that are coming out of the White House. They're just sticking in the knife and twisting it. Metaphorically speaking. Did you guys see that Dumpy posted a vid of him as the Grim Reaper? And that Russell Vogt, Voght, I think, or Voight, Satan incarnate, that man. So what we have going on is we have a real life battle between the good and the demonic. And guess what happens when we have to face down evil? We become stronger, and our light becomes stronger. Yes, they're mocking us. So it's like, stick it to the American people, the ones that you swore an oath to defend and protect. Yeah, right. Stick it to the American people, tear down the Rose Garden, build a ballroom while you take away their paychecks and you take away all their protections. Stick it to the American people and then make fun of them. Make a stupid meme about yourself as the Grim Reaper, Dumpy. And then make a stupid video AI with Hakeem Jeffries sitting there in the Oval Office, and you have Trump 2028 hats there. Does he really think he's going to live that long? So I'm looking at the Democrats, and I see the 10 of Wands is all over the place tonight. 10 of Wands is the burden that they hold, but look at this. The sun shines on the Democrats. Thank you, Shirley. Yeah, definitely do Thursday night's meditation. Last night, it was powerful. Powerful. So as far as the Democrats go, the sun The light is shining on the Democrats in the face of this burden. Guess what? They're still going to work. So they've left the governing to the Democrats. It is a death cult. It is a death cult for sure, this MAGA thing. Was it dumpy, though, for a media monger? He has been absent for these last few days. Has he? I know, I've heard people saying that he's absent. Anyway, Queen of Wands. This is a powerful card. This is about, it's about the people. I was thinking about Kamala. Kamala comes up every night in the readings at PNN. I'm always seeing Kamala in the readings. But I think right now she's probably keeping a low profile and just doing her book tour. Let's ask the pendulum if we're going to see are we going to see any information about the last election? Are we going to see any information about the last election before the end of the year? Are we going to see any information about the last election? It looks like we will. Yeah, Trump sounded really bad in his recent public speeches. He did, that's true. Well, let's ask this. Does he have a bad cold or something? Is he sick? He's sick. Is it more than just a cold that what I'm referring to, because we know he's sick. We know he's physically sick and he's mentally sick. But I just want to know, was there more going on with him than just a cold? Yeah. He's very, very, very sick. Okay. We don't want JD, so we're in a conundrum, right? I'm going to pull 3 cards about Kamala. All right. I haven't read the book. Has anyone read Kamala's book? I haven't even opened it. He's gravely ill. Dumpy is gravely ill. Kamala, she's out there. People are loving her. The lover card means love, not necessarily romantic. Kamala is out there. People are loving her. She has to do a lot of self-care. Can you imagine the death threats? Yeah, cold is the least of his worries, but I was just looking to see if he had a cold. The hangman is surrendering to the higher power. So I'm asking about Kamala. Surrendering to a higher power and generating a lot of love on her book tour. No one's read it? I'm sorry to say, I don't think we're going to make it to 200 thumbs up, but you guys can continue to be optimistic. We need 200 in the house before we get 200 thumbs up, and I'm not budging on that. Sorry. Let's read on, actually, I'll keep these cards. I want to read on the flotilla going into Gaza. What's going to happen, just a general, what's going to happen to those people who have been taken hostage. Nanette is saying she's read the book and it's great. Yeah, there's 200 people on here, but we need 200 thumbs up. Okay, so I'm asking about the people that are taking food and aid to the people in Gaza. Netanyahu is trying to block them. The Israeli soldiers have been commanded to take them hostage. I don't think all of them, but several of them. And what's going to happen? Interesting. They get a lot of support from the rest of the world. The 5 of Cups, yeah, they understand they're going to have to kind of cut their losses in terms of not being able to get a lot of the food and aid to the people. But let's ask this. Will this flotilla mission succeed in getting the food to the people? It's saying yes. See, this is the kind of thing that people need to get aware of. Thank you, Jackie. Much appreciate the donation. This is the kind of thing that people need to be aware of that's going on. We have We have this network of evil in the world, and Dumpy's connected to it, and that's why this is happening to the United States. Because this network of evil, to them, we're the jewel in the crown. Kamala, how come she's always in Trump's head? Oh yeah, she is. So as far as the people in the flotilla going to Gaza to bring aid, they give a strong message. This is a really strong message. And if you watch that video about them, it's intense. They're standing up for humanity. And we will see a lot more heroes like that standing up for humanity. So, okay, who else do I want to read on? I think I'll switch cards. I'm going to ask about the shutdown and what happens to the Republicans now that they're showing us a full-on dereliction of duty. Yes, Kamala will be our president. I'll read on that a little bit more too. Yeah, the anarchists in the world, there's no such thing as a law. And Dumpy is right in there. They're all like peas in a pod. What's going to happen to the MAGA Republicans? The death cult, now that they've done this to the American people. The light will be shown on them. It's going to be really challenging for our country. I have to hide her nakedness. It's going to be really challenging for our country. But as far as the MAGAs go, I really feel like this is just putting the spotlight on their heinousness. Let's ask this. Is this going to lead to a bad outcome for the MAGA Republicans? Is it going to lead to a bad outcome? Okay, let me ask this. Will it lead to their downfall? Okay, so things are in play. Things are up in the air right now. Yeah, things are up in the air right now. So let's see. Where are my fairies? I'm looking for my fairy cards. Hang on, let's get some fairies. We need some fairy energy. There's a full moon. Oh, thank you, Deborah, for the donation. You guys notice Thomas isn't in the house? We don't have any dad jokes tonight. Okay, yeah, there's no good outcome for those jackasses. I agree with that too. I'm wondering why I was getting those waves of like happy giddy feelings today. I'm not sure what that was about. So let's read a fairy card. Oh, by the way, Kathy Beal and I are having an event on October 21st. I'll get that information up for you all if you want to buy a ticket. We're having a Zoom event. Our Force Fae card is really good. It really is appropriate. Forest Sister, the moon shines brightest after the storm. That's kind of what I'm getting because I keep getting the sun card tonight. Something is connected with the full moon, you feel? The moon shines brightest after the storm. I think that's a really good message for us. Will I put the info to get tickets? Well, say I just got the flyer done. Kathy Beal, go to empowermentunlimited.net. I need to get it in postable form. So just hang tight. I'll let you know. I'll let you know on Off the Ledge tomorrow. So you gotta watch Off the Ledge, which I pre-recorded in the morning. So it'll be under the vids. How's Usha Vance feel about Trump? Oh, she doesn't like him. Who likes him? Nobody likes him. Nobody at all likes him. I'm going to read on the military. Until the military came from Washington, D.C., thank God the nuclear weapons were secure. I think I missed the first part of your message. Maria has a joke. That's a joke that Thomas put up before. Singing in the shower is like a soap opera. I'm sorry, it went by too fast. Nanette is saying, I keep getting October 17th, something big is happening. You think Usha Vance voted for Kamala? There's a book called B-52 Down. Okay. You want to know if JD's friend, Usha? I don't think they have relations. Let me just say that. You want to know if did she vote for Kamala? Yeah. I think Melania did too. Did Melania vote for Kamala? Yeah, I think the women voted for Kamala. Why would they vote for that pig? Remember around the election, they were like saying that wives shouldn't go vote without their husbands. They were like shaming women for voting without their husbands. They think it's like, freaking 1900s. Well, when women couldn't vote until the suffragette movement. Okay, so I am going to pull 3 cards about Dumpy's fate. Yeah, the raid in Chicago was horrific. I know. Some of these things are opening people's eyes that would have never been opened before. And the tragedies are horrible. Tragedies like these is so unnecessary, and it's so back to Germany in the 1930s. How is well, Dumpy is questioning his strength. Dumpy knows how powerful the United States Constitution is. Because, see, I have the Strength card and the Hierophant, and that tells me he knows how strong the United States Constitution is. Oh, Maria cracked a joke. Thank you. And he's kind of stuck because, this is interesting, because I hadn't picked this up before. Dumpy knows how strong the United States Constitution is. He's not sure he can overthrow this country. So let's pull 3 cards about our democracy. Is there anything that I absolutely have to read on before I read on that? You agree with Melania voted for Kamala? Yeah, definitely. And Warren's saying 10 thumbs up to go. And Warren is the one that started the whole thing about group hugs. So let's make Warren happy. It's Yom Kippur. All right. Read Maria's dad joke. What happens to our democracy? Just what happens to our democracy? Let's just ask, what happens to our democracy? There's a big change. Okay. Thank you, guys. I was afraid I was going to get the death card, but I didn't, which would have meant transformation. What happens to our democracy? I don't know why motorcycles have to be so loud. What happens to our democracy is we have a change. The wheel of fortune is turning, and our cup is over. Our cup overfloweth in a matter of time. Let me tell you something about actual faith. 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 Believing. Faith. Believing. It's not faith. You don't have real faith unless you can wait. I'm not telling you it's easy. That's why we hold a space all the time. We mentally visualize our democracy making it through. We do that all the time. That is just our MO here. That's how we operate here. And what I see, I'm asking about our democracy. There's going to be a big change. Our cup overfloweth. We just have to go through all these steps we have to go through. I really overall feel like there are good things happening. It's incremental. The courts are holding. I mentioned before that, maybe it was this morning, yes it was, that there's a whole bunch of attorneys and inspector generals and judges that as soon as I got wind of Project 2025 last year or the year before, they started to get to work building cases to defend democracy. Just going through the whole thing. How do we knock this down? How do we knock that down? And I think that we have this time right now where we have to be forced to join together. And this is forcing us to join together. And things will change. They will. So I'm going to read on our military, and I'm getting news that we need 2 more thumbs up. So I'm going to read on our military. And what I'm going to read on is where they stand right now. Where they stand right now. The United States of America has had the strongest military in the world for a long time. We have the most amazing technologies and intelligence on the planet. I don't know if it's still that way, but it's pretty common knowledge. So our military is looking at an upheaval. Yeah, well, I'll say the other day was an upheaval. Coming into balance and alignment and agreement and getting the military all together on one page with how they're going to overthrow. I just said it. How the military is going to overthrow this regime. We got over 200 thumbs up. Yay! Good job. I like your persistence. See, together there's nothing that we cannot do. So what I'm wondering is this, and I'm just going to ask the question. Yeah, we'll do a group hug in a moment. Trump would lose to Kamala in a foot race with Kamala wearing high heels. That's not a joke, that's reality. I see some new names here. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and welcome. Okay, we're not done reading, but let's do a group hug. Let's do a group hug, holding all the people who are suffering in our consciousness. Thank you, Jackie. Again, did you already? Is that another donation? Thanks. Let's hold everybody in our group hug who is suffering. Everybody. And let's visualize this country coming together in ways that have never happened before. That's what this is all about, okay? And anyone who's depressed and just in despair, think about the farmers, everyone who's lost their jobs, the children, the victims of ICE and all that. And let's just hold each other. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Rose. Group hug. And that we have more people like Jane Goodall and Sadhguru and all the other great leaders and teachers and holders of the light step up. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Warren, for sending an envelope. Hmm. I guess we can read. Let's pull some cards for the weekend. And tomorrow night, just so you know, I might record a video and upload it tomorrow night. Last week I said I might, and then it's getting into the busy season for the witches. Must be the season of the witch. You know, so if I'm not, I did like 11 readings last Saturday. If I'm not burned out, I'll make a video tomorrow night. It just depends. Don't hold me to it. I did read on the Democrats, but Rose is saying read on AOC or Bernie. I did read on the Democrats, and the Democrats, the sun keeps shining on the Democrats. So let's read on us. How about that? Let's read on us. Before I pull the cards, I just want to tell you, if you're a member, there are 4 classes up under the videos for members only. 4 classes on reading the tarot. I've gone through everything but 2 suits. So if you want to learn to read the tarot, become a member. Hit the join button. Become a member. Does anyone know if the Red Sox won last night? I know that was kind of random. I was just wondering. What did baby corn say to mama corn? Where's popcorn? Oh, Maria, you're knocking it out of the park tonight. They liked it. No, the Yankees did. Oh, Mary, you're funny. You're in Connecticut. You're not in New York. Go Yankees. You could go either way. Red Sox or Yankees. Oh my goodness. 3 cards for us. How do we hang in there? I'm going to tell you one thing. You're going to see people joining together in community. You won't even believe it. You're going to see that. You're going to see people meeting one another and loving one another. Oh, you were born in New York. That explains it. Okay, you're excused. Electra Storm is telling you thank you for the dad jokes. Okay. Okay, so over the weekend, we see the Emperor stealing everything from us. And the 4 of Pentacles is just know that over the weekend, I mean, it's just kind of like some people are starting to see what's going on and it's taking forever. And I know how frustrating that is. But for us over the weekend, we're going to see people waking up to Dumpy is stealing our country from us. Thank you, Annette Serrano. And the 4 of Pentacles is this is us consolidating what we have, kind of looking at basically seeing the cards and assessing where to go and what to do. I'm going to actually pull 2 more cards for the weekend, just in the face of like, this just happened where the government shut down. So we'll have to come together. I mean, when I think about it, it's like, what did people do during World War II? They had to bond together. What did people do during the Great Depression? They had to help each other. What are people going to do now? We're going to help each other. And even in the last government shutdown that Dumpy was responsible for, because he couldn't get the Democrats to get his money to build the stupid wall. People helped each other. It was right around Christmas time and people were being so kind. So the 7 of Wands, it's going to be a challenging time and we're going to feel really trapped. Damon, you just showed up. So, but remember this card. I mean, we wouldn't be realistic if we were going, oh, it's going to be hunky-dory. Everyone's going to be happy, right? So let's just be, reality check. Damon, did you just show up or were you lurking? You lurker, you. And by the way, shout out to all the lurkers. I know there's a lot of you. Remember this card, and I'll leave you with this card. The moon shines brighter after the storm. We're in stormy times. Make Kamala the pitcher for the Red Sox. You're funny. So, speaking of Kamala, these mugs are for sale on my website. As far as I know, I'm caught up on shipping. So if you didn't get yours, email me, AnnetteDion7@gmail.com, because I might have missed you. Great mug. They're on my website, psychicannetteDion.com. Everything that I have available is on the website. I'm going to see if I can get the flyer on the website. The event that I'm having with Kathy Beal is like a psychic party, costumes on Zoom, the whole bit. So that's going to be on the 21st, which is a Tuesday night. I'll tell you more about that in the very near future. I love you lots. Hug yourselves and be very kind to yourselves and do a lot of self-care because we need to stay healthy. Okay? Damon's working hard for the money. I'm glad you're all here. All right. Watch off the ledge. Do the meditations from Thursday night. We'll see you soon. Namaste. Love you.